Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a video that's based on a video I saw Jamie Page do a couple weeks ago, and it was the making your own makeup kit with just drugstore items, and I thought that's actually a really good idea. I'd love to do something like that and share it with you guys. So I am sharing my favorites from the drugstore, and it's all on my face. 99% of the makeup on my face is from the drugstore. The only thing that's not is the foundation, and I'll share in a minute what the dealio is with that. But if you want to see how to get this look all from the drugstore, then just keep on watching. For the base product, I don't really even want to go over this because I mention it I think in almost every single video. L'Oreal Glotion. Do we really need to talk about it? Probably not, but just so you know, I did put it on. Let me tell you a little story. I bought the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow and I loved it so much that I never purchased another foundation. So what I did when this ran out was that I had to say no more. I had to stop it because I wasn't trying anything new out. When you're trying to recommend new products to people like me, that doesn't really work out. I'm not wearing this today. I'm actually wearing the Bye Bye foundation by IT Cosmetics, which is not from the drugstore, so totally negate what my foundation looks like, but just know that in my heart, my foundation from the drugstore that I would recommend to you is the Infallible Pro Glow. I love it so much. If you do have more oily skin, I love the Pro Matte. My skin just kind of changed with pregnancy and all that stuff, so I became a little bit more dry. So the Pro Glow ended up working out better for me than the Infallible Pro Matte. So just know that the Infallible line is so, so good. Okay, moving on from that sad story. We're gonna talk about concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. This one I feel like is the best simply because I feel like this doesn't lift up my foundation and it adds the right amount of coverage. It's not too mattifying and it just blends out really easily. You can use a sponge or you can use your fingers like I'm going to use just because I forgot my sponge. If you're looking for a great drugstore sponge, I recommend the Real Techniques. Just really the Real Techniques brushes in general are really great. So if you're looking for affordable makeup brushes, those ones are really great to try out. And this is obviously too light for me right now. I really should have gotten a darker color in this, but we're here now when we can't turn back. Just concealing all the normal spots where I get pretty red. And then we're highlighting as well because this concealer is way too light for my skin right now. We're gonna powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. This one is definitely the least cakey that I have found thus far. And this one does add a teensy bit of coverage, but not too much to where I feel like it would alter the color of your foundation. But it definitely mattifies. As you can see, there's a teensy bit of glow left in my skin, but it definitely mattifies. Just because it is so freaking hot outside today, I did powder my whole face because I'm gonna be sweating basically the second I go outside. We've talked about this. Do I need to talk about it more? No, but I'm going to. This is the Lumi Bronze It by L'Oreal. It's great because it has a little bit of sheen to it. I just did my nails, so I'm trying not to use them to open this, but I think I might. Oh, no, I didn't have to. It's definitely on the cooler side, but it's not too cool, so I feel like it's a good bronzing kind of bronzer. You can kind of sculpt your face while bronzing at the same time. And it's really easy to blend out. It doesn't go on patchy, and it doesn't go on orange, which I feel like a lot of drugstore bronzers are very, very orange. For blush, I actually have two recommendations just because I couldn't just choose one, so I have two, which I don't think you'll be mad at. First one, no surprise, L'Oreal True Match. It's just so easy to blend. It's just so easy to blend. I used this in my last video, so I'm not going to use this today, but I used this one also every video also, so I don't know which I'm going to use. This is the Milani Luminoso. I honestly use both of these so much during the summertime because they're just peachy, warm colors and they go so great with tan skin. We're gonna use the Luminoso. The Luminoso one definitely has more of a sheen, but it is way more pigmented, so you need to be careful when you apply it. The True Match one is not as pigmented, which I like, because then you can't go overboard with your blush, which I don't know if you can tell by just looking at me. I really like to add product to my cheekbones to make my face not look so round. Yeah, so it just depends on your preference. For highlight, you guys, I also have two favorites. This one's gonna come as no surprise, Maybelline Master Chrome. I use this also in a ton of videos, but it's a great multi-use product and it doesn't have any sparkle in it. It has a little bit of sparkle, but not too much to where you see it on your face. And it's just so pigmented. It's like not like a natural highlight. It's like a holy crap, that girl is glowing from over there. I can see her across the room she is so glowy. That's what, I don't know who's saying that, but that's what this would entice. This one is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. This one was on YouTube and went like crazy. Everyone loved it. Everyone needed to have it. And honestly, now that I'm looking at these side by side, I almost just broke it. Honestly, looking at these side by side now, they're very identical. So, I didn't realize that before. Let me swatch them. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking everything. Let me swatch them really quick to see if they even swatch the same. I don't know how to say this, but the Maybelline one is definitely more noticeable. So over here is the Wet n Wild. I don't even know if you can see it on camera. And then over here is the Maybelline, the one that's like shining over there. Wet n Wild's over here, it's kind of shiny. Maybelline over here is very, very shiny. So there we have it. So I literally can't stop using this, so we're gonna put it down for a minute. We're gonna use the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. I used to use this one all the time, and this still gives a pretty nice glow. Isn't highlight the best, you guys? It's just like, oh, there's her cheekbones. There they are. I think we're gonna go into brows. This one I bought for my last video, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. So we're just gonna use it because it's honestly what I have from the drugstore. I like that it has a spoolie and the color is good. It lasted pretty decently. I actually wore it to the gym and it didn't fade completely away. It did fade a little bit on the tails right here, but over here it stayed pretty well. The brow gels that I have tried from the drugstore always end up leaving my brows like crusty and have like white flakes on them by the end of the day. And I would just rather not have a brow gel on than have crusty, flaky brows. So for eyes, I don't have a palette from the drugstore that I'm in love with. I'm just gonna be real with you right now. If you have a palette that you love that's pigmented and it blends well and it's not like too fallouty all over your eyes, please let me know and I wanna try it. So I just really have single shadows that are less expensive that I really love, and I will share those with you. So first I'm gonna go in with my bronzer and just a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to define my crease just a little bit with the bronzer. If you watched my last video, you know what eyeshadow from the drugstore that I'm obsessed with. Let's say it together. The L'Oreal Pot, that's an Amber Rush. So good, I can't get enough of it. It's like a sandy pink, brown, shimmery, rosy goodness color. Oh, let me just swatch it for you. I'm not going to use it because I used it in my last video also. Iced Latte is a really great highlighting color I used in my last video as well. But anyways, this is Amber Rush right here. It doesn't really look like, oh, there we go. So good. I'm going to use something that's a similar color, but I'm going to use a different brand just so I mix it up a little bit. This is Colourpop Weenie. I know Colourpop's not technically at the drugstore, but I think they're selling it at Ulta now. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think they're selling these at Ulta. Or is it Sephora? I'll link it down below which one of the two they're selling it at. But this is in the shade Weenie, and it's a similar color. And I love these Colourpop metallic shades. I'm not really a fan of the mattes in these little pots, but I do like the metallics. So this one I would say is maybe even a little more metallic looking, while the Amber Rush is a little more shimmery looking, if that makes sense. And I'm actually going to go in with that Wet n Wild highlight and just put that in the corner with my pinky finger just to brighten that up a little bit. Smidge on my brow bone. So we're gonna just curl my lashes real quick. So I ran out of the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I like it. I just never repurchased it so I could try other mascaras. But I do like that one. It never smudged on me, and it did a good job. It lengthened and it added some volume. But it was like a good everyday mascara. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise I'm using today. I used this in my last video. I gotta say I'm liking it more today than I did upon first use. It's definitely adding more length to my lashes today than it did the other day when I used this. So here's with the Lash Paradise and without. So you can see, definitely makes a difference. So yeah, this is just with one coat. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna actually leave it with one coat. I actually like that. Not too bad, but I'm really smart and I forgot to add these eye pencils that I wanted to show you guys. So this is the Endless Silky Eye Pen by Pixi. I've shared this in a favorites video, but it's just so pretty, brown, bronzy, kind of shimmery eye pencil. And once it sets, it honestly doesn't move. It's really creamy, almost too creamy at first. Like I've definitely broken off the tip of it before, like trying to get it on my eyes. But this is just a really pretty dark brown color. I don't love black eyeliner just because I think it's too harsh on my eyes, so I prefer to use brown. And this one's a really pretty basic brown one, and I love that one. And then another one I would actually recommend is the Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliners. These ones are a little bit tougher, so you kind of have to sharpen these really well. Otherwise they kind of scratch your eyes. But I love the color of this one. I think it's just bronze is this color. The color's worn off, but I think it's just bronze. Oh, and these ones. Once you sharpen them, it's just a really pretty metallic gold color. And it's just really creamy, and you can smudge it out. And once you smudge it out, it stays put. So this is another really great option, and I think it's literally like $1 from the drugstore. And then for lips, I don't really have a lip liner that I'm in love with. I like the Wet n Wild. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I try to talk and do my lip liner at the same time. I like the Wet n Wild gel lip liners. They don't have really any colors that I love for every day. They have Verde Comet, which I use on a lot of warm lip colors. They don't really have any neutral or cooler lip colors that I'm in love with in that line, but I like the formula. It's very creamy and easy to use, and I like the retractable pencil. This one is the NYX lip liner, and it's the pencil form. They do have retractable ones. I haven't used those yet. I do love this color. It's just a really pretty mauvey pink, and this is called Nude Pink. And I have two options for lips. This first one is Bare It All by Wet n Wild. I love this one. It's one of the first lipsticks I think I ever got, and I just love it. It is like a really warm, it's kind of pulling cooler for some reason, but it's definitely more on the warmer side. Today I'm actually gonna use the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip stains, and these ones are great formulas because they're kind of more cushiony and they're not super drying. They do dry down, but they're not super drying. They have a little bit of slip to them. And this is in the shade Echo Park. What I like to do with this is so I just do a coat on my lips like that. And then I just take my finger. I like to smush it with my finger like this, so it looks a little less harsh. So this is the makeup look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it looks very similar to other looks that I usually do, but when you're talking about like favorites and things, you definitely want to do makeup that you feel comfortable in and that you actually really love. And these are options from the drugstore that I absolutely, truly stand behind. Again, I know I'm not using the foundation that I would have normally used, but I love that L'Oreal Infallible foundation, so take my word for it. It's awesome. I love that one. Again, if you have any recommendations that you would suggest from the drugstore, let me know in the comments down below. I love to try new things from there, so feel free to share in the comments what things you are loving. And yeah, like, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.